Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I want to make a video that is a bit out of the ordinary for me because it's not completely negative, but some of you are going to get that joke. But I want to do something that's a bit out of the ordinary because I want to talk about what I love about physical media. Because I have been doing a lot of videos, and I get I've been doing a lot of videos, but I haven't really talked about what I actually love about physical media. I've talked about selling physical media, I've talked about like giving up on certain things about physical media, but I haven't talked about what I love. So today's video is I want to talk about what I love about it. So the first thing I love about physical media is ownership. Now, it isn't true ownership. It's not like you own the copyright and you can rip it and put it onto the internet again or whatever. You can't reshare it. You can't rebroadcast it. There are certain limitations. But when I talk about ownership, there is a certain aspect of holding a physical item in your hand that you know a studio is not going to remove from you, even if you bought it on digital. They're not going to come and take it away from you. You own that movie. You own it until the disc gives out or there's a scratch on the disc or something. You own that disc. You own it. You own that copy on that disc that you can watch privately at home or on your devices. Some people do rip them. I know people rip them. Don't worry. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying that you own that. That's one thing I really love about it. You own that copy of it. And you don't have to go sourcing it all over the internet or have a trailer autoplay or trying to grab your attention with an ad and saying, hey, buy this while you're at it or do this. It's actually good to have something that's a standalone. They might give you an ad or a preview or something on it. Like you might get a preview for other Sony movies. Obviously, that's a Sony movie. So you might get previews for other Sony movies, trailers. But other than that, trailers also are taking you back to a era that's long gone. Now they do play trailers on streaming service as well. They play like autoplay, hey, in this episode or over the series overall, or a whatever it is, rehashing, whatever, I don't know what the word is, throwback thing or whatever. Recap. That's the word I'm trying to think of. I don't know why I forgot recap. But they'll give you a recap, and it kind of spoils some of the story. Like, if you're going into, like, a Stranger Things or something, sometimes you want to have that kind of thing of, like, okay, caught up in the first episode, but you don't want it brought back every time. And sometimes if you're going into different things, like different movies, maybe you want to go in blind. Maybe you don't want a trailer auto playing. With this, you have the option. Another thing I love about physical media is touch. Because touch is one of our senses, touch is a sense, one of our six senses. And when you actually can touch a physical item, something that you love, something that you own, this is not a thing that's on a button that you just go, okay, I guess I'll watch that one. I guess it's this one then, up, down, next. Yeah, okay, next thing. This is a physical item, and it represents something that you love. Like, look at that. I actually really like Goodfellas. Now, this is the original release that I think had issues. They actually pulled this off the shelf for a while. I don't know if they fixed it or anything. This is one of the originals. But I actually really, really like this copy. And I actually do like the movie. I like Goodfellas, one of my favorites of all time. And you get that little disc artwork, and you also get the Blu-ray copies, I guess, because back in the day they used to give you more than one disc, so you get the special features, both things. But what I love about it is that it's something that you love. It's something you can interact with. Now that's a lot different to going through a streaming service and going like, okay, I guess I'll read the description on here. Okay, yeah, okay. But when it's something that you actually own, the sweat is really coming off me, it's a very hot day, but something that you love, that's a representation of a movie you love, that's something that, let's put this back and I'll show you something. So if it's something that you love and it's something that represents part of you, a lot of you know I have the MCU collection up here. This is a unique thing to me, and yes, people love the MCU. I'm not saying I'm the only one who loves the MCU. I'm just saying that if I brought someone into this room, you can easily come in here and go like, okay, I can see you like Marvel. Okay, you got a pretty good Marvel collection. Over here, you got a pretty good DC collection. I'm guessing you're someone who likes comics. I'm guessing you're like someone who likes superheroes. I'm guessing, okay, I'm guessing you like some horror movies. You've got horror movies at the top shelf. You can instantly start telling someone's tastes, and you can actually start telling what they're into, what they like, what is a representation of them. When I look through this collection right here, I'm very much aware that I'm looking at something that is a bit more of a niche thing for me. Now, I have talked recently about selling Star Wars. Star Wars was there beside Star Trek and between Tenet and the Terminator. So I have sold my Star Wars 4K collection, and there was a reason for that. I felt the DVD versions, which I'll show you right now. I'll be off camera for 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. I'm going to start penalizing you if you go anywhere, guys. You will lose house points. 10 points from Gryffindor. Nah. I just like throwing random shit in these videos, eh? But I do think these versions were better than what was on 4K because you get Puppet Yoda in, Phantom Menace. You get Puppet Yoda. Also, in the original trilogy, you get, in the 2006 edition, you get that bonus disc that has the original theatrical release on it that you don't get after the fact. So I felt that with Star Wars, I just want a definitive thing, and for me, DVD is usually the one I'm watching. It's the same thing I reference about, and I keep going off camera here, and I know that it's probably going to annoy some of you people, but you people, what a terrible way to say it. That's nothing thing. I'm black anyways. So yeah, I picked these versions for Jurassic Park. Now I do have the Jurassic Park things over here. I have the trilogy or series over here. I might even sell the Jurassic Park series. They're coming back out on Dolby Vision and everything. But realistically, I'm watching it for the DTS audio. That's audio rocks the house, that's pretty cool. And so I usually prefer watching these versions with DTS. Now, people who have laser discs will say, oh, I have the laser disc. Well, they're better. Yeah, laser disc is better in terms of sound. I will admit they're better than these. But most people don't have a laser disc player. I did, but I sold it. But for me, DVD is good enough, and this is close enough to something I can rip. I can put it on a hard drive. I can put it on a phone, like for personal viewing only. That's very careful. You've got to do it for personal viewing only. But I actually like that I can interact with this, and it's a little thing that not a lot of people can access online. It's something that has been changed over time. The audio for Jurassic Park that you watch on the 4Ks is not the version that was heard in cinemas. They have changed it, they have updated it, they have expanded scope to Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, but it's not the one you grew up listening to. It's not the one that was on this. It's not the DTS. It's not the one that was played in cinemas. So I've got that version, and I prefer that version. That's another thing I love about physical media. You can pick and choose what you love about physical media. And I'm sure I've done this video before. I've talked about it before. There'll be people who go back from my history and say, you're doing videos from a year ago. What are you doing? Well, I don't care. I just want to talk about love of physical media. And if you don't like it, go. Like, you don't have to be on this channel if you don't want to watch it. But that's going to annoy some of you. They're totally going to call me out about that one. Oh, well. Anyways, what do you think, Geraldo? What do you actually think? You reckon they're going to call me out? Don't give me that look. Anyways, what do you guys think about physical media? Like, it's very much an extension of ourselves. A lot of us collect because we love having extensions of ourselves, extensions of movies we love. Now, I have the Chucky collection all the way in the corner here on 4K. I have all of the Child's Play movies on 4K. I really have to think about what I'm doing with the Blu-ray box set. I've got the Blu-ray box set as well. I really got to think about what I'm doing with the box set. But I have all the movies on 4K, so I might even sell the Chucky on Blu-ray. I probably won't sell the 4K versions, but I might sell the 4K, and maybe Blu-ray is good enough. But the thing I love about this is that you can pick and choose. You don't have to have the shiny new 4K, and this is what I'm saying. This is why what I said about Star Wars, and even though I got a SummerSlam box set right there. Another thing with wrestling. Older wrestling events have the original music when they were released on DVD. Now, music, obviously licensing for music, there are changes to themes. With Victoria, for example, WrestleMania 20, they changed her theme from All the Things She Said to another generic kind of feeling that sounds like it because they lost the rights. That's a big component with WCW stuff on the network, or what was the network on Netflix now. You do not get like all those songs that were synonymous, like Voodoo Child. You don't get Voodoo Child for Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So they remove stuff. If with Blu-ray they also remove stuff, but also it's less likely that if they're going to license a movie, they're going to license the movie as it was. They want it to be seen as it was. That's part of the appeal. But when I look at this, I look at something that's an extension of myself. And why I have been selling is because I do think I want an extension of myself. Like, I have movies up the top here, and I'm just going to tilt this up a little bit. I have the Columbia Classics up here. I don't know the last time I grabbed a movie out of the Columbia Classics box, any of them. Now, I know some of these have Oliver, some of them have a bit of everything. I know some of them have The Social Network and everything in it. I don't know the last time I actually grabbed one of them and said, okay, this is a lot better than my Blu-ray or my DVD version. Now, stick with me before you go in the comments. Some of you will like that they're 4K. Some of you will like, oh, Oliver, better than it's ever looked. I want Oliver on 4K. I don't know whether I should have a box set that's pretty overpriced, just for the off chance that I might watch Oliver once or twice a year. It's just something that I'm just like, I mean, Blu-ray is probably good enough, and for everything else, the streaming, really. But I do love that it's a representation of something. It's a box set, One box set I'm really big about, and I'm going to tilt this up again. I know some of you get annoyed with me playing with this camera all the time, But 24, one of my favorite TV series, 24. I've actually heard they're doing another series for that. I heard that Jack Bauer's going to come back or something, or they're working on what it's going the treatment for it, what it's going to be, what the series is going to look like. It might be a 12 episode again, but I just want to see Jack Bauer back. I don't care what Jack Bauer does, just get Jack Bauer back. But 24, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's up there in the top 5 easily, probably even in the top 3. But I love that it is something that represents that. Now, that is the Japan release. That is the Blu-ray from Japan. It has all the Blu-rays. I think it was only released in one region in the world. It was Japan. I imported that from Japan. So that's how crazy I am with my collection. But it's also one of my favorite TV shows of all time. That's why I imported it. The X-Files right next to it. Realistically, I want to rewatch the X-Files because I've always watched parts of the X-Files. I don't think I've ever watched it from episode 1 all the way through the whole series. But you can't have the X-Files without Supernatural. Supernatural, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So you have all of these up here. You have all these. Stranger Things I'm probably going to sell. I mean, it's not the complete series, and I don't think Netflix is ever going to put out the complete series. So the completionist in me is like, I might just sell Stranger Things. But there's stuff in here like, look at that box set over there in the corner, right there. That's a State of Origin box set for NRL in Australia. Things with sport, like, especially when it's like old wrestling or old UFC. I think I've got some old UFC in here somewhere. Let me just quickly go off camera and find one. I don't know what this one is, but I've got it. I've probably seen it for a few dollars. It was $2. So I got that for $2. If I can make that glare go. And it's an old Conor McGregor fight. Now, it's probably, you might say, oh, it's Conor McGregor and it's this and that and whatever. You know what? For an old UFC event for $2, I'm going to buy it. You know, it's something that, even if you're not that big into UFC, now I'm sort of like, meh, if it's a fight I want to see, maybe, maybe not. It's kind of like boxing. Not everyone watches every boxing match. But when there's a boxing match you really want to see and the hype is there, and sometimes you can go back and revisit it to watch stuff you kind of want to watch or get back into it or like figure out what it's about. Stuff like this is gold in this space. Like, I mean, I don't know everything about this, but I mean, old school UFC as well is kind of holding its weight. And it's another thing where they played music in the arena that maybe was not reheard. Maybe they couldn't relicense it for a thing. Why is this disc not going back in the case? It's really annoying. But, geez, I am very sweaty today. It is very hot in this room. But what I love about it is that you can pick and choose what you want to watch, how you want to watch it, what experience you want. That's another thing, the experience of physical media. I can look at my overall collection and be like, okay, I want to experience Spider-Man. Now, there are other things to Spider-Man. There are certain things in here where I could probably try to track down a DVD that has the full frame version, which is, you know, the sides are off. Kind of looks like the Snyder cut for, like, Justice League, where it's kind of in the middle. It's that 4:3 kind of aspect, and it's built for old TVs. I know there's a Spider-Man out there that has that. I know there's a Spider-Man that shows more of the frame. So I might try to track that down, and maybe that becomes my preferred version. But for right now, that's my preferred version. There's a lot of things you can pick and choose with your collection. I choose this way because I like to collect, I like to have an experience. And when I look at my overall collection, I just look at something that has to be an extension of me. At the moment, there's a lot of bloat in this collection, as I've mentioned in previous videos. There is a lot of stuff in here that I probably am not going to watch. There were people giving me grief in the comments that were like, how are you not knowing that Doctor Sleep is a sequel to The Shining? How are you insane? How could you not know that? I just don't. And then people saying, you're not a real film fan then, if you don't know it. Because if I haven't seen a movie from 2019, then I'm not a real film fan. Sorry, but if that's your take on it, fine. But just know that not everyone watches every movie that's available at any given time. And you know what? I'm happy with The Shining. I love The Shining. I don't have to watch 14 of its sequels. It's the reason why people can watch Psycho. And here's an example. I can enjoy Psycho, and I'm going to do this because some people were being negative in my comments, and I blocked a lot of people. I block a lot of people. I'm very ruthless with my blocks. But you can watch Psycho, one of the best movies of all time, Psycho, without watching Psycho 2 or its sequels, or I think there's like 4 Psycho sequels, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's 4 Psycho sequels. But, you know, you can watch different versions of Psycho. You can watch, okay, I want to watch the Hitchcock version, but if it's not Hitchcock and it's not the original version, I don't have to go beyond that. there is no right or wrong way to be a film fan. Just because I haven't watched Doctor Sleep and I didn't know it was Stephen King, I didn't know, sorry. But just because I haven't watched it does not mean I'm less of a film fan than you. And if you're an idiot in the comments, I'm going to block you because my fans deserve to come on here and, I mean, other than when I'm doing a negative video, but I know my fans deserve to have a space where they can be constructive about movies without people coming in saying, oh, there's no real fans if you don't watch this and you watch all the Star Wars but you don't watch blah. You know, be civil. We can have discussion in the comments, but like, don't start saying, oh, you're not a real film fan then if you haven't watched that movie. How do you know I'm not a real film fan? Have you watched the 1930s onslaught, or, well, not onslaught, but have you watched the 1930s films of, like, The Wolfman? Have you watched the original Frankenstein? Or is that just a bit too old for you? Maybe you haven't watched the original Dracula because it's black and white. Maybe you don't watch those movies. So I could say you're not a real film fan. So yeah, get out of my comments if you don't like how I watch my movies. We just went off a bit of a tangent there. Come here, Geraldo. We're going to need to think. It's a Geraldo with a H, by the way, because I saw that someone else had a draft that was called with Geraldo with the G, so I had to change his name, which I'm sure he doesn't really mind. He looks very trustworthy. You know, very trustworthy little guy here. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get out of there, Geraldo. Sorry. But you know, what I'm saying is that there is... Okay, what was I saying? I was talking about kind of... What was I actually talking about, Geraldo? That's right, about people in my comments. So people in my comments can have an opinion, and that's okay. I'm okay with opinions. But don't get in there saying, oh, your fans are not real fans because... And you're not a real fan because you didn't know that was Stephen King. And here's another thing. I'm going to... Sorry, Geraldo, I need to put you down for a second because I'm going to go off on another tangent here. Just because, like... And this is going to annoy some of you. I know this is going to annoy a lot of you. I like the film adaptations. Sorry. Just because I like Jurassic Park does not mean I'm going to go out and find the book of Jurassic Park and instantly read, like, oh, I need to know every little detail about this movie, and I need to know more than the film fans know because I am a true fan. That you get that a lot with Harry Potter. You get that elitist kind of mindset with the Harry Potter fans who are like, oh, I know what actually happened with this, and I know what happened in this because I read the books and I know better than you. There's no way to... Yes, you might say this is the wrong way to experience it. But you know what? Who cares? If you're enjoying the medium, if you're enjoying the series, that's money towards the series. Don't get on there and then say, oh, well, you're not a real fan. Because you know what happens? And this is going to annoy some of you the wrong way. If that happens, if someone goes and says, oh, well, the real fans don't watch this stuff. You know, I'll bring in The Last of Us, because even though I didn't like The Last of Us, I'm not constantly coming out saying, if you didn't like The Last of Us, even though I have it on Blu-ray because I'm an idiot, but if you didn't like The Last of Us on TV series, the games are there. But yes, this might fail because a lot of people are not liking this. But then what happens when they get to Game 3 and, like, this has knock-on effects to the games? And people aren't playing the games because they say, oh, it's too woke, it's too this, it's too that. People have the right to choose that, okay, they don't want to play it, but also, I don't want to knock it. I want to let people say, you know what? If you want The Last of Us and want to watch that TV show, go and watch it. We're all experiencing a medium here. We're all experiencing the love of film and television and the love of collecting, especially if you collect it on TV series. I haven't watched House of the Dragon, but I know it exists. I didn't like season 8 of Game of Thrones, but I know that people did. So there are a lot of different ways of, like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that other people don't need to like it. And the great thing about YouTube is you can always find someone who aligns with you. So this is another great thing about YouTube as well. You can go and actually find other streamers who align with you. Go and watch Slipcover Steve, or whatever his name is. He's going to make a whole diss video about me again. Who watched that video? That made me nearly piss myself laughing. Or either, I don't care. But anyways, how do we bring it back here? Let's bring it back. Anyways, where was I going with this? I've completely lost track, Geraldo. I've completely lost track. What have I lost track of? With the collection, it needs to be a reflection of yourself, and that's what I'm trying to move towards right now. I'm trying to move it towards a reflection of myself. I'm going to go do one video this weekend, so, yeah, I'm going to have a little tiny break, a little brief break till I can figure out another video. As you can probably tell, I'm just drawing for straws with the topics. Geraldo will make a few videos. I'm sure he'd like to make a few videos, wouldn't you? Did you all watch my tarot video? Geraldo wanted to read my tarot, and he used Pokemon cards to do it. That's on my Instagram. I can't use actually Harold. I actually have to call him Geraldo, just because if you know, you know. But I can't call him Harold. I can call him Geraldo though. He's Geraldo. Very good person. Very good giraffe. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you want, what you like, what you don't like, what you think physical media is great about, and I'll put a video over here and I'll put one right behind me. Watch them both, watch them all, watch everything, and I'll be back in another video. Say hi, say bye, Geraldo. Say bye.